fourth lecture of module 4, that is speed control of three-phase induction motors. In this lecture we will be discussing the speed control methods, different speed control methods, and we'll discuss them one by one. These are the different speed control methods of induction motor drives. First one is stator voltage control, then stator frequency control, stator voltage and frequency control, which is known as V by F control, then rotor resistance control and slip power recovery schemes. All these we will discuss in detail. First, we will discuss stator voltage control. First one is stator voltage control. In stator voltage control, the speed of the induction motor is controlled by controlling the stator input voltage. That means the speed of the induction motor can be reduced by reducing the input voltage, stator input voltage of the induction motor. First of all, let's look into the torque equation that we have already discussed in lecture 1. This was equation number 10 in lecture 1, that is torque is equal to 3 by omega ms into v square into r dash by s divided by the impedance. Here we can see that for a particular value of slip, that means for a particular value of speed, the torque is proportional to square of the stator voltage. Similarly, the equation for rotor current, IR dash is equal to the voltage, that is stator input voltage divided by the impedance. Here also you can see that the rotor current is proportional to voltage for a particular value of slip. So we can conclude that at a particular speed, the torque is proportional to V square and current is proportional to V. Then let us see how the torque speed curve look like. Here you can see that first let's consider the first curve. This curve indicates the torque speed curve of the induction motor for rated voltage. Again, we have another curve shown here. This is the torque speed curve of the same induction motor for a lesser value of voltage, applied voltage, stator voltage. Again, the voltage is reduced. So this, as we go from right to left, the voltage is decreasing. So when we compare these three curves, you can see that the shape of the curve is retained, but the position of the curve shifts left or right according to the value of voltage. That means the torque speed characteristics shrink or grow according to the value of applied voltage. That is one point. Next, let's see what are the restrictions, or what are the for which kind of applications we can use stator voltage control, and where we cannot use this type of control. In the case of stator voltage control of an induction motor, the speed control is achieved by varying the terminal voltage until the torque required by the load is developed at the desired speed. Now, there is a limitation for the stator voltage control of induction motor. That is, we know that for stator voltage control, we will be increasing or reducing the applied voltage in order to control the speed. That means in order to get rated speed, we will be able to apply rated voltage. But if you have to control the speed of the machine above rated speed, you cannot apply an stator input voltage above the rated value. That means the speed control above rated speed is not possible using stator voltage control. That is mentioned in this point. Since the terminal voltage cannot be allowed more than the rated value, this method allows speed control only below the normal rated speed. That is the major disadvantage of this method. So, using stator voltage control, speed control can be achieved from zero speed to the rated speed. Next, we will consider the thermal loading, or the heat produced in the induction motor when we apply stator voltage control. These are the equations we have already discussed. Let's uh, look at these equations. When, as we have discussed, the torque is proportional to V square and current is proportional to V. That means for a small reduction in applied voltage, the reduction in torque will be large. That means if you are reducing a small amount of voltage in order to reduce the speed of the machine, there will be a large amount of reduction in torque. That means that is the torque capability, maximum torque capability is reduced. You can see in the curve, for the first curve, rated voltage is applied. So this is the maximum torque capability. You can see this in the x-axis we have torque. So this is the maximum torque developed by the machine at rated voltage. Then in order to control the speed, we have reduced, if we are reducing the applied voltage, we will get a curve like this. Then the maximum torque will be this. So the maximum torque that the machine will be able to develop is reduced if you are reducing the applied voltage, and the reduction in torque is much considerable because torque is proportional to square of voltage. But you can see that the current is proportional to voltage. That means if even though the torque has decreased by a considerable amount, the current is not that much reduced because current has a direct proportionality with voltage. So when you reduce voltage, current will reduce. So that means the heat produced will be much large. The heating effect of the machine will be much large. So the torque available for a given thermal loading of the motor decreases. For a given thermal loading of the motor, the available torque will be less. That means the machine will be very much heated, but the torque produced will be less. So this is the limitation, the application limitation of such a drive. And also we have discussed the maximum torque. Breakdown torque decreases in proportion to the square of the terminal voltage. So such drives, that is stator voltage control drives, can be used for uh, loads, used for the applications in which the load torque decreases with speed. It is the low speed operation without overheating of the machine is possible only if the load torque decreases with speed, as in the case of a fan load. You can see here a dotted line is shown. This indicates the torque, load torque curve of a fan load. Here you can see for rated speed operation or for high speed operation, the load torque is high. When the speed decreases, the load torque also decreases. For such low torque applications, you can use stator voltage control, because as speed decreases, the torque demand also decreases. So you can use stator voltage control. Even though the torque capability of the machine is less, the drive will satisfactorily operate. Next, we will see how much efficient is the induction motor which is controlled by stator voltage control. For that, we have to write the expression for the efficiency of the induction motor. Um, First of all, we'll consider these equations which are familiar to us from the first lecture itself. For reference, please check the first lecture. Pg is the air gap power, which is given by 3 into IR dash square RR dash by S, and rotor copper loss PCU is equal to 3 into IR dash square RR dash, which is equal to SPG. PCU is represented in terms of SPG because the in numerator this term is common, so you can write as SPG. Now PM is the mechanical power developed in the rotor. The mechanical power developed is equal to the air gap power. That is the air gap power is the power that is transferred from stator to rotor, and air gap power minus rotor copper loss will give you the mechanical power developed in the motor. And when you substitute the values of Pg and PCU, you will get like the expressions like this. So PM is equal to Pg into 1 minus S. So in order to write the expression for efficiency of the three-phase induction motor, as we know, efficiency is equal to output power of the motor divided by input power of the motor. Output power means the power output available at the shaft. So the mechanical power developed is not completely available at shaft. There will be friction, windage losses. Mechanical losses will be there. So we can't write the output power is equal to PM. But for the time being, here we are neglecting the mechanical losses. And also, in the case of input power means the stator input power. And from stator input power, there will be stator copper losses and iron losses. The remaining power will be air gap power. That means the stator input power minus the stator losses will give you the air gap power Pg. So in fact, stator input power is not equal to Pg, but for the time being, for our convenience, we are neglecting the stator losses. So the stator copper loss, friction, windage and core losses are ignored. The motor efficiency is given by PM by PG, that is the power developed in the motor divided by air gap power. Approximate efficiency is obtained like this. Actual efficiency is the output shaft power divided by stator input power. But here we have written PM by PG is equal to 1 minus S by substituting the expressions for PM as PG into 1 minus S and PG is equal to 1 minus S. So from this expression, from these expressions of PM, PCU, PG and efficiency, we have some conclusions. First one is the developed power decreases but the rotor copper loss increases with increase in slip. How? The developed power decreases with slip. Developed power is PM. PM is equal to Pg into 1 minus S. That means when slip increases, the developed power decreases. That's true. And also the rotor copper loss. Rotor copper loss is equal to S into Pg. That means as S increases, rotor copper loss increases. What is the inference? From this, we can see that if you are using stator voltage control in order to control the speed of an induction motor when slip increases. That means when speed decreases, then mechanical power developed will be reduced, but the rotor copper loss will be increased. When rotor copper loss increases, heating effect will be very high. The next one is, consequently, the motor efficiency is very poor at low speeds. That means efficiency is equal to 1 minus S. That is, as slip increases, efficiency decreases. Slip increases means speed decreases. Okay. So, as at very low speeds, operating conditions, that means when the speed decreases, the efficiency of the motor will decrease. Now let's see how the stator voltage control is implemented for the control of speed control of an induction motor. It can be done with the help of the power electronic converters known as AC voltage controllers. AC voltage controllers are implemented with the help of either triac or anti-parallel SCRs. This is the circuit diagram or simplified circuit diagram of an AC voltage controller fed single phase induction motor. So this is a single phase AC voltage controller formed using triac, and it is used to control the speed of this single phase induction motor. As we know, the stator voltage control method is used mostly for controlling the speed of fan loads. So in our domestic applications, fan loads or single phase motors of domestic fans are controlled by single phase triac voltage controller. The same speed control method that we are using in our home is using triac. That is a single phase AC voltage controller. The speed control is obtained by varying the firing angle of the triac. So triac, as you know, triac is a power electronic device, and its firing angle can be controlling by controlling the gate signal. So by varying the firing angle of the triac controller, the input voltage to the single phase induction motor will be controlled or varied, thereby controlling the speed of the single phase induction motor. So these are commonly known as solid state fan regulators, and nowadays they are preferred over the conventional variable resistance regulators because of high efficiency. So triac controllers are having high efficiency as compared to the conventional speed resistance regulators used to control the speed of fan loads. Next, this is a speed control AC voltage controller used to control the speed of a three-phase induction motor. Here you can see that instead of using triac, two anti-parallel SCRs are connected for a particular phase. So for a three-phase motor, we need 6 anti-parallel SCRs. Why we are using anti-parallel SCRs instead of triac? Because for a three-phase induction motor, the power rating will be high. So for a three-phase induction motor with high power rating, we will be using anti-parallel SCRs instead of triac. If this motor is having low power rating, then you can use three triac controllers instead of anti-parallel SCRs. Stator voltage control method is used also for soft starting of motors. This is because stator voltage control method allows a stepless control or smooth control of input voltage from zero value to a desired value. So this method can be used for soft starting of motors. Next, we will look into the power factor of an induction motor which is fed from a single phase or three phase AC voltage controller, whether it is low or high. The power factor of an AC regulator is given by, or AC voltage controller is given by the equation power factor is equal to I1 into cos phi 1 divided by IRMS is equal to mu into cos phi 1, where mu is the distortion factor, which is equal to I1 by IRMS, and cos phi 1 is the displacement factor. Here, let me define the terms. Here, I1 is the fundamental component of the input current. IRMS is the RMS value of input current, and phi 1 is the phase angle between the applied voltage, that is input voltage, and I1. So, the power factor is a product of these two terms, that is distortion factor and displacement factor. So, as you know, the speed of an induction motor is controlled by controlling the firing angle of AC voltage controller. So, when you increase the firing angle, as a result, both distortion factor and displacement factor will reduce. In effect, the power factor will reduce. So, as a conclusion, we can say that if the speed of an induction motor is controlled using an AC voltage controller, then its power factor will be very poor. Thank you.